Hello, this is Chris from Deus Ex Machina, and I am with
Dave from Rampant Wolf Games.
And we are talking about the top 5 games with slapped-on themes. These are games that the themes are lacquer thin or don't... Well, I guess you can say that they don't translate the mechanics very well.
Yeah, basically, what I was going for with this one was games where...
Yeah, this is your idea.
Yeah, it was games where you're playing the game and you're just like, I don't feel like
You
I'm
almost
actually
did that with a
playing...
southern... I don't feel. Then all the southern people start hating us.
I don't feel like I'm in the theme or I'm in the setting. Like, it doesn't draw me in. It's just kind of, move that over there.
It's like Star Wars, Monopoly.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a repainted thing. By the way, I didn't put that on the list because that's an obvious one.
Yeah.
All
Monopolies are
off the list. They're not on the list because there are games that are as sinful as that, though.
Yes.
Right.
But see, now these, for mine, they may have been games that were horrible with the slapped-on themes, but there is at least one game in this collection which is decent, but it has a slapped-on theme.
Actually, a good chunk of my games are actually good.
Oh, there you go.
Right,
yeah.
So just because the themes, I mean, technically you can look at abstract games. The theme is lacquer thin because there is no theme. For me, the ones that get the most thin are just like you're warriors traveling across a landscape. Like it's a deck builder.
Yeah,
it's a deck builder. When you're moving miniatures across a table, but it's just like Star Realms isn't on my list, but Star Realms is an example. Star Realms, I think almost every deck builder is a completely abstract. Yep. And the more you try to go, you're part of, you're forging an alliance. Like, no, you're not. It's a deck builder.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, this is top 5 slapped-on themes. Ooh. Starts off with a win.
Alrighty. Number 5.
We'll change that soon enough.
Alright, so my number 5 is Master of the Galaxy by Ares Games.
You really hate this game.
Yes,
oh my
I do.
God.
And I really do.
When the camera isn't rolling, you won't stop shitting on this game. I know you don't like back builders, but wow.
It doesn't coalesce for me. It's just you're pulling out cubes. Okay. You're using those cubes to build star lanes. Alright. Using these cubes to colonize planets.
What do the cubes represent, though?
Exactly. That's it. That is the whole thing. It's just like using the cubes to colonize planets.
Well, does the game tell you what the cubes mean?
It supposedly technology, science, something else, and something else. But the cubes.
God is pulling science out of his bag.
They're cubes. They're cubes.
Well, so many games use cubes.
But
this is cinnamon.
But it's the same cubes for everything. It's this. You use the cubes to build your space lane. You also use the cubes to colonize the planets. Alright, sounds more like lazy to me. But
don't play Kepler 3042. I love that game. It's cube management.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stop there.
But it has two units: matter and energy. You spend matter and energy. Why? Because it actually deals with... it's a game about thermodynamics. I kid you not. Kepler 3042 has such a science hard-on. Its entire basic system is on resource management with thermodynamics, matter and energy. And I know that it deals with thermodynamics because you can burn, you can overpush yourself and remove energy from the universe. Like it literally becomes entropy. It turns to entropy and you can't use those resources anymore.
See, that sounds interesting. I'd be interested in this, but this one, it just... It doesn't...
And you have to make antimatter is the third cube, but you can never get it. You have to make it.
Yeah, it never pulls me in.
Yeah.
Whenever we played it, I'm just kind of like, cubes. Yeah.
So mine is a game I actually quite enjoy, even though I got my ass handed to me last week. It was called Space Base. Which is a game you own but not played.
No, I played it.
You played it? Yeah. Oh, what do you think?
We actually liked it.
Yeah, it's a very. I credit the designer for making a really basic level engine builder. It is engine builder the game, and it is a fascinating experiment in normal distribution. I've taken statistics. I know the normal distribution curve.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is that when you have two dice and you roll them, you get a normal distribution curve out of rolling all those dice.
In the middle is your usually,
And so I find it incredibly fascinating how that whole system works, especially since you can take one value individually or you can add them together. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating system. Yeah. I've discovered that it's not as good a game with 2 players. With 4 players, it's a bit better because you're relying more on other people's rolls to give you stuff outside of your turn, which gives you more power. In a 2-player game, it's a lot more bouncing back and forth.
Yep.
I find it really strange that the game didn't create more of a balancing mechanic for 2 players. Rahdo had some good homebrews, which seemed very obvious, so I don't know why they haven't implemented it. But at the end of the day, though, I know when they designed this game, they just had cards with values on them. The artwork means nothing. You're making a base, and you're just rolling dice to get money to buy new cards.
Yep. It
could have been anything.
Yep.
It could have been any game.
Yep.
The artwork is even pretty simplistic. I mean, I give them credit because there's probably 150 cards in there, maybe 75 illustrations.
Yep.
There's quite a few duplicates, but every ship is named on it, so they made an effort to give it that extra effort to make it kind of neat. But at the end of the day, there's no theme.
Yeah.
The game is just like you are just trying to make your tableau, your engine, better than anyone else's, and you do that by spending resources and getting cards. It could have been, and you could literally slap any theme on that game.
Yep.
There is nothing that relates it to space at all.
Yep, exactly.
So that's my number 5 pick, Space Base, which is still not a bad game.
All right, so my number 4 pick is probably going to get some hate, but, Grimm Forest. The reason why it feels slapped on the theme is because it doesn't really... You're building the houses, great, but you could take that entire mechanic of that entire game and put any other theme on it, and it would still be the same game. It wouldn't break it.
I don't know. I can't disagree with that one. It's just... Space Base, you could literally reprint all the artwork and nothing changes.
Fair enough.
Grimm Forest actually has miniatures and all this stuff, right? You would have to rebuild the game production value.
Yes, exactly.
You can take any rule set. I can take during Gloomhaven and make it sci-fi.
Yeah.
Right? But I would have to rebuild the entire production value. You can literally go in there and just delete the artwork from Space Base and nothing changes.
Yeah.
I think any game that has miniatures and you're building actual houses.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I would just.
I'll give you that one.
I mean, yeah, but that's me. Like I said, no, that's just. I'll disagree with you on that one, but yeah.
Okay.
You can keep on going. I didn't.
No, that was it.
It's like that's okay. It's like okay, fine. I'll take it off. No. My number 4 is Lost Cities.
Never even heard of it.
It's a very popular game. It's a very popular 2-player game.
That's why.
Yeah. I forgot. I have no friends.
No, I usually...
I have a fiance that barely tolerates me. She's tired a lot.
I usually ignore anything that's less than 4 players.
And yet, I actually seek out games that do 2 players.
Yeah.
And whenever I buy a game, or I look at a game that's 3 players, I'm like, nope. I have games that play at 3 players, and I'm like, why did I buy this?
Yeah.
I agree with Rahdo. Rahdo and I are very much copacetic on these things. We're very much on even ground because he's just like, you've got to have your game playable for solitaire and 2 players because that's a good chunk of the market. You can't discredit it. If your game can't work for 3 players, then think up make it find a way to make it work, or make a cheap party game. There's a market for that. But highly thematic games with 3 players or more, I think it's a hard sell. But anyway, Lost Cities is numbers the game. It is numbers and colors. And they had the gravitas to slap a theme on it. That's why it's called Lost Cities. You could have just said, you could have called it LCR. It could have had anything. Snakes and ladders. It's just you have cards and you're trying to get your cards to be put down in numerical order in the proper colors, right? At the end of the game, you all score points based on how many cards of that sequence you were able to put down. That's the entire game. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a fun game. Nicole beats me about most of the time on that one.
Yep.
I think I've only beaten her once. Because oddly enough, when it comes to abstract games, she usually wins. But they had the whole it's just like, oh, it's archaeology. You're searching. No, come on, it is just numbers and colors. The board game.
Yep.
Lost cities. You're exploring this. No, we're not. No, we're not. It's just colors and numbers. So that's my number 4 pick. Lost Cities.
All right. Number 3 for
my number 3 and my number 4 are very similar, by the way.
Yeah. I just had to I just dropped 2 out and put 2 different ones in because...
Really?
Yep, I did.
See, I don't. I put mine on paper, so I don't.
So, number 3...
In stone, and I'll fight to the death for this list.
Lanterns.
I almost put that one on my list.
Yep.
It's a bit too abstracty for me.
Yeah.
Just made that word up, copyrighted, abstracty. No, I can totally see lanterns being on the list, just because, yeah.
It could be anything else, but it's lanterns, and we're building lanterns for the Japanese emperor to celebrate. I'm a snoozing.
Well, no, see, I'm not a huge fan of lanterns, because you're like, oh, I draw an awesome tile. I will score extra points no matter what you do. So it's a bit of that, but. It's also a game that my fiance beats me with, so I automatically dislike it. But in that same context, I mean, it's lacquer thin, but it's there.
Yeah, it's very thin. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably as thin as Azul or Sagrada, so it was a bit. I don't know. But it was on my list. It was probably in the top 10. If we had a top 10 list, I think it'd be on there.
Fair enough. All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Tides of Time.
Haven't played it.
You know of it?
Nope.
It is a fascinating game. It's 18 cards.
Okay.
And that's it. It is a very basic card drafting game. Card drafting is a good mechanic. Some people love the card drafting. I'm lukewarm to it. There's some games I like it. Nicole seems to have issues with it. We have like 3 or 4 card drafting games that she seems to dislike the mechanic, but she likes Tides of Time. Mm-hmm. It comes with a pencil and a little pad so you can score. 18 cards. It deals with 6 or 7 symbols on these cards, and you're supposed to be able to get matching symbols and so forth. And it's called Tides of Time because it deals with like forming this grandiose ancient empire. The cards are gigantic. They're about 60 to 70% larger than a poker card. They're huge.
So the tarot size.
Yeah, I say they're tarot-sized cards.
Yep.
Beautiful. Beautiful illustrations. No point. It's simply just the symbols on the card. The 4 small symbols in the upper left-hand corner is the only thing that matters.
That sounds a lot like the cards in Jamaica.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no...
But that's beautiful, though. That's just production value.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful. I love the fact they lay out one painting.
Oh, yes.
That is such a cool, though. I like that in Jamaica.
But there's no point to it.
I know.
Just the corners.
It's just the corners.
Yeah.
But that being said, I have no problem with it. But the tarot, we have the oversized tarot cards in Tides of Time, and the only thing that matters is the symbols. Now, with Jamaica, there's more game.
Yes.
That's it. This is the end of the game for Tides of Time. It's 18 cards. There's nothing else. There's no game boards, no dice. That's the whole game.
Yeah.
You're getting matching sets based on, like, oh, I have this. I'll give you the other cards. You give me that. Oh, I'll take this and give that. You just do that. You score. You do it 3 times. And that's the game.
Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah, so that's Tides of Time. Beautiful game. There's a Cthulhu one that adds a few extra tokens, but it's basically the same game. But I think, it's Cthulhu. Oh, great. Nope, it's still completely... it's just symbols. So that's my number 3 pick, Tides of Time.
So my number 2 pick is definitely going to get some comments if people actually watch this video, which is...
Mom, please stop doing that.
Splendor.
Oh.
Because really, if you take Splendor, it's like you could wipe out all the graphics on those cards, just leave the values, and it would still be the same game.
No, I believe that.
Oddly
enough, you thought there would be a war, but no, that's fine. That's it. Yeah.
It does.
Of course, the same. You can see the same thing with the game that supposedly trumped Splendor, which was Century Spice Road. Because Century Spice Road is the same thing. I could have put Century Spice Road on there. It probably would have been Sector 7. It has no thing. You're changing cubes for other cubes, and you have these beautiful cards that are massive, and they're just got these beautiful illustrations that mean nothing.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It was on my list, but it's just... For me, it's how much stuff can you cram into a game that has so little theme,
Yes.
right? But that game is so thin. Like I said, at least it had cubes. Tiny Time didn't even have cubes.
Fair enough.
And Space Base tried to be a game. I'm like, holy crap! You're naming these people? No! You don't you dare write a story. So that was your number 2 pick.
That was number 2.
Splendor. My number 2 is Star Trek 5 Year Mission. Oh, come on. Even the people who made the game. Everybody knows the game. That game is thin. I don't even know what the point of the game is. I know what the goal.
It's to get the little comm badges.
Yeah, you get the chevrons.
Yeah, right.
But what are we doing? We're playing as the characters. But what are we doing? We are doing mind meld. What does that even mean?
We're on our 5-year mission.
Yes, but like there's a card that says mind meld with two reds. I'm like, why is Scotty good at mind meld? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, this one here, the Tholian web. It's got these 3 values. Okay. What does that mean? It's not doing anything. It's not saying, the Enterprise can't move. No, that didn't even say that. Like, is this like... Every attempt is like, if it was like we're revealing a mission and these are the events of the mission, that'd be something. But no, they're just random yellow and red alerts that pop up. And it's like, oh my god, Klingons! And then oh my god, then now there's the time travel episode. And then Triple show up. Like, what is going on? There's no sense.
Have you ever rewatched the original series?
I know it is complete chaos, but it is very strange. It is very strange. And it is a fun game. It is a fun die placing game.
Yep.
But wow,
I know.
A little bit of effort could have been made to, like I said, another game that's die placing, which has a better applied theme, which was Elder Sign.
Yes.
So people are like,
you were both.
Did the screen crash? No, the screen crashed. I literally froze for a second. Elder Sign, which is exact similar mechanic, but with a bit more effort put into the theme. This one has way less effort, but it could have done better. Yes. So that's my number 2, Star Trek 5 Year Mission. Once again, they said 4 enjoyable games. Number 1, not so much.
Yeah, no, not for my number 1. All right, let's do this. Oh,
snip, 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 snip,
all right.
snip, snip.
Number 1.
Number 1. For the next week or 2 weeks...
It's going to be Gloomhaven.
It's not. No, Gloomhaven... No, Gloomhaven... That'd be just me shitting on Gloomhaven for no reason. I'm not going to do that. I'll get to that, folks. I'll get to that. There will be a moment for Gloomhaven to get my ire. It's a great game, but no game is without criticism.
All right, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is a game which I'll probably be talking about a few times over the next little bit, because I'm amazed that someone made it. It's called Alchemistry.
Ah, yes.
Which is a game you have not heard of.
No. Well, I've heard of it tonight.
Because I've mentioned it.
Yes.
It is a game that's very obscure. You'll be seeing a review from me on the Dice Tower probably in a couple of weeks. I've already recorded the review, but it's kind of backed up in the queue behind another game that I'm doing. It could have been an engine builder, but it's not. It could have been a bag builder, but it's not. It is a turn cubes in for card game, similar to a lot of games. You grab cubes out of a bag.
Yeah.
And you put them on your board.
Yeah.
And then you grab cubes out of your bag and put them on your board.
Uh-huh.
And then you do this repeatedly until you see a pattern forming and go, oh, I can buy that card for these cubes. All right. What's the next move? I'm taking cubes out of a bag. And it's, I have this card. I can turn it over and take 2 cubes that I've already used, and then I'll buy this card. And then I'm taking cubes out of a bag. It is one of the most boring experiences I've ever played.
I was almost falling asleep while you were telling me about it.
I am. Yeah, it is. But here's the reason why I say that the theme is thin isn't because of that. Yeah. Because once again, what is Century Spice Road other than trading cubes in? But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. You can look at the cards and go, wow, this is a pretty game. Alchemistry doesn't even have that going for it. It's trying to say, you're all students trying to mix potions together.
Yep.
Right? Cauldron Master, which is almost the exact same theme, is a much better game. But the whole idea, you're trying to get resources, and then you're using them to buy potion cards and the jewel cards. The jewel cards are just jewel cards. They don't say what the jewel cards do. They're just literally, it's an image of a guy doing this, and then the 3 symbols of jewels. What am I doing? The potion card, I kid you not, is a little poker card with 6 cubes on it. There's no artwork. It's just 6 different colored cubes. It doesn't tell me what the potion is. It doesn't tell me what it does. There's no flavor effect. It's just simply a card with 6 cubes on it. No artwork at all. Right? The player boards have no artwork. They are just simply the where you can place your cubes. Oh, yes. And it gets better. The point tracker, no artwork. Right?
Wow.
The bonus trackers, no artwork. They're just
Sounds like the game wasn't finished, but they had to put it out.
No, I truly think that the game is what they wanted it to be. The game production design, we'll get into it later. Production and actual design is also bad as well. The entire game is covered in that really ugly orange peel of a game that probably should have gone through the cure a bit more. So it has a very bad kind of gloss on it. But yeah, it is trying very... It says, oh yeah, your student's doing this, and like, wow, you're not even trying. At least put some names on the spells. At least give us something. Give us an engine builder. Make it seem as if I'm doing something other than just, I'm taking cubes out of a bag and putting them on my board. Looking for if I have a pattern. Nope. Taking cubes out of a bag. And I played it twice. And I was like, I do not want to touch this game ever again. It's a bad game, but the theme is horrible.
Fair enough.
So that's my number 1 pick, Alchemistry. You'll be hearing about it again.
All right. So my number 1 game, played this the other night, or rather officiated for this group the other night. And so I started explaining to them that they are automatons, and they've woken from, several hundred years of sleep gone, and so they're trying to get their memories back.
It's a video game that sounds like this.
Yeah, and it's got great Japanese artwork. It's done by Z-Man Games. It's called Code of 9. You flip the game out. It's got a wheel on it. They give you pawns. Literally pawns. Like, it's... I mean, they may as well have been the Plastic Parker Brother pawns, but not quite. And that is how you assign your actions on the board.
Okay.
There is nothing on the board but lots of text with little spots to put your pawns. And it's like a wheel. I don't have this. I've played it. And so I'm watching the group play this, and they're just like, okay, what are we trying to do again? I'm like, I told you, your automaton's trying to get your memories back. They're just like, okay. I'm like,
how is that reflected? How does that manifest?
It doesn't.
So there's again, it could be a deck builder. As you get the cards, you're getting them...
Oh, yeah, but here's the worst part. The front of the box has this beautiful Japanese anime-style characters and stuff. There's not even those characters on the player boards.
In Alchemistry, there's only... I counted. Alchemistry has 2 illustrations. The gem card illustration and the box art.
Yeah. So they have all these beautiful illustrations of the automatons that you can play as. Character boards, nothing. So they're just like, I don't really feel like I'm playing the game. I feel like I'm playing a worker placement game, which is what it is. But yeah, it was so thin, the theme. I was just like, wow. I feel like maybe someone went to Z-Man Games like, this is my idea for the game, and Z-Man's like, oh, okay, well, we got one charity case we've got to put through this month, so.
I actually think that may be possible. I think I've always once in a while, one of their game designers like, I have a game. I was like, oh crap, we have to give him money for this. All right, fine. I was like, this is a bad game. We'll just release it. It's like a pet project. All right, you get $5 million.
One pro bono per month.
No, one pro bono, period. If it's successful, you can do another pro bono. Otherwise, it's going to get pushed. All right. So for games with slapped on themes, number 5, Space, 4, Lost City, 3, Tides of Time, 2, Star Trek, 5-Year Mission, which are all games you've heard of, but you haven't heard of Alchemistry, which is the thinnest.
All right. Number 5 is Master of the Galaxy. Number 4, Grimm Forest. Number 3, Lanterns. Number 2, Splendor. And number 1, Code of 9.
Okay, I've been Chris.
I've been Dave. And remember, rules are just a suggestion.
And the script is just a suggestion as well.